So we're up, and we're gonna start looking at the NADEX. Now I brought up the the options here. This is the NADEX. It's live streaming. It's a demo account, so I won't worry too much about it. If I make mistakes and I lose money off of this current value, it's no big deal because it's just a demo. I can always get another one and add more cash to that. Alright, so the first thing first is you want to find out what the binaries are and what the options are. So I like to do Forex expiring soon because I'm going to be trading the Euro US dollar. That's what I'm setting up. Basically just to show how I trade these options. So I'm going to find the Euro US dollar, what price points we're at right now. So there's one, that's a 7 a.m. expiry. Somehow this Aussie got in there, and then of course here's the rest of them, and these are the most active right now. You can see these 50, where they're almost 50%. These three are most active, so that's in the 1254 to 1246 range. Now what I do is I overlay on my trade station here, my FXCM trade station. These are the three trades I mostly stick with: the Euro US dollar, Canadian dollar, and the S&P 500. I don't really like getting too complicated watching everything. Like, person is can have multiple screens up and doing all that. God bless you, but I can only watch like a couple of screens at a time. So this is I usually just stick with the Euro US dollar and the S&P. Money's money, so I don't really care. I can trade this US dollar every hour. Based off of the way I've set things up, but and I like to have a high probability trade. If things go against me, then I have to like say, do a revenge trade, and I can't really close anything out at that point, because the revenge is really if you do lose something, you want to be able to recover that loss right away. You don't want to wait a few hours, because at that point you're putting yourself up for a different failure. So what I do is I bring up my my graphs. So I've got 5 minute, 1 minute, and 1 hour set up here. Now these are set up from yesterday, and there was quite a spike in the Euro US dollar, and it hit the top of this trend channel. So it's been in this trend channel on the hourly for better part of at least close to 10-13 days or so. Started down here at March 20th, and here we are over here on April 4th, and it's still continuing this downtrend. Now this is just on an hourly. Really, at the end of the day, you want to go out farther and see what the long-term trend is. Now on the hourly, that's just that's this green candle here. There's 24 of these in a day. So this green candle started at this pivot point and worked its way up to resistance 3, just above R2, in a 24-hour period. And when you zero in closer, so there's basically 24 of these candles would equal one of these candles. So the trend has been down, and it's not going to break that trend. And the longer term, when you scroll out, it's trending down, and that trend has started basically since April 2018. So we're coming up close to a year on a complete downtrend. So the rule is the trend is your friend. So follow the trend. And right now, everything leans towards the short side. Now it may bounce up to this this level up here, this 1247.1 level. The way it's been bouncing off these resistance channels and bouncing off these higher channels here. Now I'm not saying it won't go up. If it does go up, its next point will probably be, up to this 1.17 and then up to 1.2, because that's within the channel. And these channels stretch back further if you even go back even further to the monthly or the weekly. And they're up here. So the trend is still down, and I'm not going to fight the trend. Now these lines aren't completely parallel, because as further I go out, you'll see that there's some deviation too, and I could fix those to make them look more parallel. Right now it's not really that important. It's more of a OCD thing if I do that. So let's get back to the 1 hour and on the 1 minute chart. Now I would never recommend trading a 1 minute chart because that's just crazy. And of course this chart did a breakout yesterday. This is where I had set up stuff from yesterday, and it was bouncing around, and it broke outside this channel somewhere around 9:18 last night. So that's fine. So we now have a new trend, and it's to the upside. I'm still going to keep this bottom trend channel here, and I'll keep this one up here. It hasn't really broken out enough for me to care about making a new trend channel. I may just do one from here to here. Let's just see if I can do that. And it may still break out, that's fine. But right now there's an uptrend, and there's a lot of resistance coming into that point because of that, and there'd be probably another resistance point around here. It's kind of parallel, yeah. So there'd be another resistance point around there. So basically I got to draw these. That's a 4 hour. I'll move my 1 hours over. This is supposed to be a 1 minute chart here. And I'll set up binary for this contract and this contract expiration. So what time is this? We're at almost 7 o'clock. So 7 o'clock is near 9. 7 o'clock is there. Oops, whatever. And 8 o'clock here. And let's put 9 o'clock in there. Let's just manually input it here. Done. Oh, why didn't you go? Oh, that's fine. I need to change it. There. Alrighty. So now I just gotta check my binaries. So the binaries, where we're trading actively right now, is right here in the 1242 range. Now everything goes up by factors of 4, so we'll just change this one right here. 1242, 5, 9. Okay, this will be 1246. Okay, and this one will be 1250. Okay, this one will be 1254. This one will be 1258. This one will be 54. So, is that 2 of them up there? What do I do? Let's go to new, change, 12, 8, 8. So it's really kind of peeking out here at this top trend channel. Let's draw an upward graph. Okay, and let's draw another one. So we're on a parallel line. Okay, and then let's draw another one. Extend these. Change, extend, change, extend. Maybe I'll change the color. So this is, fuck it, whatever. That'll be fine. Alright, so the 1 minute is set. Now, we're not quite in option expiry rate yet. I can actually move this back an hour. It's 6 o'clock. Hour. Looks like we still got a few more minutes before options expire. That's on the 1 minute. We at here 8 minutes. Got 12 minutes left. It's trading between this range here, 1242. Actually, do I think it'll go? Not really. So I can actually probably trade above 1242. I don't think it'll go to support 1 here, so let's try 1242. See what we got here. Let's do a buy order. Let's do a size, 1 order. The current offer price, $15, max loss. Alright, let's do that. There. So you got 1 order in. See if this works. Already down $7 on 1 position. But it's I think I did that right, 1242. 1242. That's where it is. What's the 1238? Let's see what the option is on 1238. Oops, that's all I want. Let's keep on wrong thing. We have 1238. I don't see one here, 1238, so I'm going to find you. Huh, interesting. Oh, here you are, down here for you. 1238. Yeah, I don't know. It's only a $3 trade. I don't think that's going to happen. It's not really in that range yet, so it's not getting any activity. This one's getting the activity right now. 1242. That's your, and the 1246 is getting a lot of activity too. 1246. Yeah, because it's like right here. But meantime, I can set this stuff up here. So this is my 5 minute. This is the one I really pay more attention to. It's a slower moving chart, and like I said, it's the same as the 1 minute. It's just not as much noise and background noise and stuff like that. So I'll set up the 5 minute here as well, just the same way. Change 12. Is it 38? Yeah. Change 1246. Change 1250. Oops. Let's go 1234. And then I'll set these to 6. Oops. And 7. So the top option. Those are close. Let's see. Trend chart. Okay. Set up here. Yeah, so I set these ones up a little different because, like I say, the price points kind of come up differently, and it's good to have your graphs not too random. This one shows a different picture than the 1 minute, of course. So the 1 minute looks like it's gonna run to this 1224 line, or sorry, 1242 line, and it may bounce off it, it may close below it. Really, ultimately, what it wants to do is come down to this 240 moving average. That's really where it's going to go down to. Support 1. Now, will it hit that support 1 before the next? What do we got here? 7 minutes left of trading, or can we just ride it out? So we got actually 6 minutes left on the 1242, and there's the right there. Five minutes left. And we'll just let it ride out. That's the trade. The hourly looks like it'll bounce off and it wants to come back down anyways to support or resistance 2. Will it run to R3? So it's running into some resistance. These things don't exactly just roll over in an hour, but you never know. Markets are about to open. I don't know what the news cycle is. I don't really care. When you look at the 5 minutes, like, wow, it's not far off. And I'm getting a lot of these red candles. That's not really positive towards that trade, but like I got in, and I'm just trying to make a point here. But that was kind of an impulse buy, like where I'd like to see it come back up over around that mark. But we're getting close to the end of this option. There's always a lot of movement around that option expiration, like violent option, and it does want to trend down. Now you're looking at it, so you'll have see it's kind of broken through this support line here, and it's bouncing off. Now it's becoming resistance. The next support lines are going to be down here, right where all this action was, basically at the 1242. But it's running into this trend channel. So the trend channel really is is a lot of support. So we got the time. Just let the clock run out on this one. Sometimes you make trades and you don't have to let the clock run out. As the option's getting closer to expiration, it really loses a lot of its value. Because no one wants to trade it. So we're minus $2 right now, minus $1, minus $2. That's only if we trade the option at this point in time. If we wait till expiration, we're gonna make $15 basically. And you'll see that in the bank account balance over here. The option will bounce around with the account balance, but when after it closes, you'll see either profit or loss. So the most I can lose is $100. So this will either go down to 863, whatever I got in at. Actually, it's right here, 876. So that'll be my close price, and then of course it'll be up $15 by the end. You just run the clock out here 3 more minutes and see what's up. Sometimes this is the exciting part of the day. You guys like, oh shoot, what's gonna happen? Now, can I trade the 1246 because it's underneath it? It's getting pretty close to the end here. Where's the 1246? Yeah, it's $19. So, but you can't really do a short and a long on these. You got to kind of pick one direction. So if I try to do a short here, and I'll probably show you that in a later video when we get some equity into this account. But if you kind of do something like that, I'll just show you what I mean. So you can't really go, oh, okay, well I'm going to trade between the two. Because I think what happens is it'll close you out on one of them. Now, like I said, these options change price pretty quick. Like I could close this right now and make $1.75 or $2, you know. But like I said, I'm gonna wait, run it out, run the clock out, and see if we get the $15. Like I said, that's a lot of support here at this trend channel right at the end. I got 2 minutes left. Even if it bounces below it and it closes above the line, even by like one little penny here, that's still a positive. So we got 2 minutes left. The option is going to close here any second. The last 30 seconds it'll close. Looks like the 46 is closed and 42 still open. 30 seconds, everything will close. All the options are closed. Now you just got to run the clock out and see where we go. Two, one, boom. So I lose my 100, but it'll rebalance here. Bam. So we just made $15 in basically 30 seconds, and that's how options trading works.